With the help of APBP's Bicycle Parking Guidelines and with Park-A-Bike's 20 years of experience in the bike rack business, we have created this video to help identify the best rack for your bike parking project. To start, let's clarify a few key elements before we discuss each bicycle rack. Racks should be located within 50 feet of an entryway if possible, be in a high traffic and visible area, and should be convenient to the cyclist destination. A great rack in the wrong location is ineffective. Our grading system is further based on the rack's compatibility with the U-lock. We hope this serves as an informative introduction to the most prominent bike rack styles today: the grid, the inverted U, the wave, the pole style, and the new bike docks. The grid style rack and the bike stand allow for the front or back tire to be inserted between two thin welded steel bars and captured in a trough, which then allows the wheel to be locked to the rack. These style racks offer front or back tire locking. Bike frames cannot be locked to the rack unless improperly parked. The hollow steel tubing can easily be cut, and the bolted together construction, opposed to welded, adds additional potential for theft. The parking spaces within these racks are typically too close together, which causes handlebar conflict and normally do not hold the advertised capacity. The narrow aisle can also cause tires to be bent or tacoed as cyclists attempt to lock their bikes to the front of the rack. If a bike is parked sideways on an 8-bike grid rack, it becomes a 1-bike carrier. The inexpensive element of these racks do not compensate for the lack of security and various faults that they possess. We recommend these racks to be used only in monitored areas where bikes do not need to be secured, such as in a bike shop, a gated schoolyard, or indoor areas. Overall, Park-A-Bike does not recommend this rack in commercial applications. The inverted U is intended for bikes to be parked parallel to the rack and can be locked multiple ways. The inverted U is fairly intuitive when you are leaning your bike up against it. The problem is that once one person locks to one side, the rack appears to be full. Even when both sides of the rack are utilized, conflicts between handlebars as well as pedals and chains can occur. The inverted U attempts to control the bicycle footprint in allowing the bike frame and at least one wheel to be locked to the rack. However, it does not always do so. The absence of a wheel cradle causes bikes to tip and fall, which leads to damaged rims and tires, and dents in the frame and fenders. Overall, Park-A-Bike recommends this style rack when aesthetics are not important and cost is a large issue. The wave rack has a serpentine shape that creates a series of U-shaped slots for bikes to be parked in. Racks with round tubing are vulnerable to cutting, and bikes can be locked to the rack by the frame and only one wheel. The wave rack is simply not intuitive. It does not support the bicycle in 2 points, it is unorganized, and bikes are commonly parked haphazardly to one another. Handlebar conflicts are typical, and bikes can easily be knocked over due to the lack of a wheel cradle. The wave rack, while aesthetically pleasing when first installed, quickly becomes disorganized when filled with bicycles. Although claiming to hold more bikes than other styles, it is actually less space efficient than the inverted U, the pole style, and bike docks when multiple bikes are inserted. Overall, Park-A-Bike does not recommend this wave style rack. Pole style racks are available in many different custom designs, but generally consist of a vertical tube that has welded loops attached. Bikes are placed alongside the loops, and the frame and front or back tire is then locked to the pole. This style allows for the frame and one wheel to be locked to the loop. Certain pole style racks that use round tubing instead of hardened steel or square tubing are more susceptible to being cut. A pole style rack is fairly intuitive when you are leaning your bike up against it. However, once one bike is locked to one side, the rack appears to be full. Even when both sides of the racks are utilized, conflicts between handlebars as well as pedals and chains can occur. The Junior Varsity Rack, a pull-style rack, was designed to address the issues of these similar styles. It eliminates the spacing issues, has hardened steel loops, and with its intuitive design, contains the footprint. The typical pull-style rack is good for maximizing space efficiency, but does not offer all of the other benefits that other styles possess. We recommend this rack when aesthetics are important, but cost is also a consideration. In order for a rack to be considered a dock, it must contain and not capture the front or rear wheel and also have a secondary point of contact with the frame for additional support. It must also allow a U-lock to easily attach around the frame, the hardened steel locking loop, and the bike's tire. Bike docks allow for the frame and at least one wheel to be locked, and with case-hardened steel locking loops, it ensures added protection from cutting. Bike docks are simple and intuitive. This ensures that bikes are kept in a controlled footprint. The bike is fully supported by the cradle effect of the wheel trough and by the contact point of the locking loop. The Varsity Bike Dock has bumper guards that provide additional protection against metal-to-metal contact. In our opinion, the Bike Dock is the best design in both form and function. This rack ensures that bikes are properly spaced to avoid handlebar conflicts while maximizing aisle space efficiency. Overall, these racks seem to be where the market is headed, and they meet, if not exceed, all bicycle parking guidelines. For more information on the styles you have seen within this video, as well as more bike parking information, please visit parkabike.com.